We on? Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, we're on. We're on.
Are we?
Oh,
Is it working?
bang.
I'm working.
Yeah.
Can you not hear yourself?
No, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no, we're good.
Very good.
Yep.
Some better than others, I think.
yeah. I'm no good.
How you going, Rollo?
Oh, yeah. It's been a weekend. And I'm pretty crook. I won't lie. I haven't slept a lot. But
Really? Yeah.
all worth it in the end.
Yeah.
A ridiculous weekend.
Well, we'll hear all about it. Let's do this or that. and then-
Oh, right.
Right.
Rollo's not really with it.
Roller's not rolling.
This or that. Vivi Coupe, VIVI.
Yeah.
Coupe, COUPE. Is it a set of 2 cocktail flutes from Country Road or a 1997 two-door 1.8 litre turbo from Fiat?
It's a car or a flute, essentially.
I'm locked in.
What are you on, Ben?
Roller?
Car.
Yep. So.
You are both wrong.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
and I reckon you were going champagne too.
No, I wasn't actually. I was
So you just copy Rollo, I reckon?
No. I don't,
That's why you made him
run
go
my own
first.
race.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, if there's
Yes,
one
I
bloke
do.
who doesn't, it's you.
Go down together. Oh, well.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's fine.
Yeah. Oh.
It's a premiership hangover.
Yeah.
Grand final chat.
Grand final
Yeah.
chat.
Jeez.
All right, from the top. So going into it, what were you thinking morning of? Were you leaning one way or the other? Because the experts were kind of split going into this game.
Well, what did we say on the podcast last week? Did we do
I
it?
don't even remember.
Because someone asked me if I got my prediction right, and
Yeah, I can't
thought I
remember.
might have said Brisbane, but I'm not sure.
Mm.
Because I don't want to go out on a limb and say I said Brisbane, and then
Yeah.
because it's on record to say last week. But
Yeah.
I was going for Brisbane. I wanted Brisbane to win.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably where I was.
Was that partly you wanted to be eliminated by the best
team
team?
that won.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's always like a nice little one, I reckon.
Yeah.
True.
But also, like I reckon their year and the way they were playing, I thought it would be a good story if they could get over the line.
Mm.
I think it was so fascinating because both teams had every right to win in terms of Sydney were fresh. They'd been clearly the dominant team all year. That sort of had that side of the draw covered, and they were fresh. They had 2 games in a month, whereas Brisbane had 4 games or 3 or 4 games, and they were fighting. They played 3 cutthroat finals that were really contested, and yeah, it was fascinating to see both spectrums of how to get to the grand final.
Yeah.
I didn't have a specific favourite. I don't think anyone really expected it to be a blowout like it was, but
It does seem to happen a lot in grand finals, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, if you cast your mind back, we've got a blowout, a classic, a blowout,
yeah,
kind of
21
21
was-
Bulldogs, Melbourne. That was
Blo-
good for
it was a
3
blowout,
quarters.
but it was still
Yeah,
50 points.
blowout in the end.
Yeah.
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 Like, yeah.
But going into it,
2020.
no one.
19 was a blowout. 17 was a blowout.
18 a classic.
18 a
Yeah,
classic.
so
Yeah.
it's kind of one or the other.
But no one would have predicted that. I think everyone,
No, God, no.
no matter who you supported or if you were neutral, both teams had really strong cases as to why they should win it. And that's why it was such an exciting grand final, I think, in terms of the build-up. And
Yeah.
everyone was thinking it was going to be one for the ages almost. So it was cool. It was cool to see Melbourne as well get around the both interstate teams as well. Obviously, it hasn't happened in 20 years or whatever it was. So to see Melbourne filled with Brisbane and Sydney supporters was pretty cool.
We actually have your tip from last week, Harry, if you want to hear it.
Did I say Sydney?
So let's see what
Probably
MJ's
said Sydney.
going to play this for us.
Yeah,
Both in good form. It's good to see obviously really, really strong wins from both teams.
Yeah, you're right. Both teams are playing good footy. Maybe if I was a betting man, Sydney, but
Yeah, that's all right.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah,
At
no,
least
I
you
was
know
wrong.
At
now.
least you're honest, I suppose.
No, it's fine.
So when did you change your tip to Brisbane?
You weren't alone. I mean,
Yeah, I said if I was a betting man,
Yeah.
the money would have been on Sydney, and they were favourites, I think. So
Yeah, oh, yeah.
it wasn't an outlandish call.
not at all. No.
But I was probably barracking for Brisbane. Yeah.
Yeah. So chronologically, if we work through the day, where did you go? Neither of you were at the game.
I was technically at the game, so I
Yeah,
had
the G.
an appearance before the game, like 12:30. So was in a corporate box for half an hour or so, and then floated around through our management, had a little area in a bar
Yeah.
inside the ground. So I stayed there for half an hour or so, and then headed back and watched it at one of the boys' house with a few of the boys. So that was good. But I was they're there pre-game, so it was nice to experience the atmosphere and the buzz of it all. And
Yeah.
never been to the G on grand final day, so it was.
You never have?
Nah. So it was really
Never.
cool to be at least around the precinct and
Yeah.
get a feel of it all. The crowd and the ground looked amazing, and they were just setting up for Katy Perry as we were doing our
Yeah.
appearance. So it was nice to get a feel for it all, and
Isn't it a great vibe? On a
amazing.
beautiful day like that,
beautiful
too.
day. Like it really got you jealous,
Yeah.
that you're not there. But yeah, that was sort of pre-game. Yeah, so I was around the precinct, which was cool.
Nice. No, I was actually out of the state in Adelaide, so I had a very low key grand final weekend, which was actually nice.
You in the
Nice to-
Barossa?
Nah, we're in the city, but
Right.
we went out a little bit to see some of Maddie's family, but for grand final day, we were just kind of around the hotel, so it was really
Yeah,
nice. Yeah.
So neither of you have been to the G on grand final?
Yeah, no, I've been to a grand final.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I
I
went to
haven't-
Bulldogs, Swans, 16.
16, right.
Yeah. No, I haven't been.
Interesting.
It's worth going one year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it next year if we're not playing. What about
Yeah. Well,
what about you? What was your morning like?
did
Um,
you go to the parade?
Yeah, went to
Yeah,
the
good
parade
call.
on the Friday.
So it's fair to say you were full, like,
Full nothing.
yeah.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you
Well,
really
That's nothing different though.
Nothing different. Yeah, it was a beautiful day on the Friday. Did the parade, watched the ceremony, and then had a quiet night. And then I was doing the Triple M show, Dead Set Legends, from 10 till 12 outside the G, which was actually really nice. It was a good distraction.
Like, can we
The morning of.
just talk about, so you know the grand final parade, how the legacy lives on, that the last
Yeah.
captain to let go of the cup wins the grand final.
And they both said, "Oh no, we don't believe in that. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let go of it." But then Lockie held on for an extra
Yeah,
second.
yeah.
It's just
There you
like-
go.
Smart.
yeah.
Crazy.
And so that legacy lives on. And then, morning of until 12. And then last year I didn't get to go in until 2 because I was working on the Saturday rub.
Yeah.
So I missed Kiss and I was kind of rushing to my seat and
Yeah.
and it was a hotter day, so I was kind of flustered. And
Yeah.
so this was nice. I just got to go in, find my seat, watch it all unfold.
So you were working in the morning, is that right? You
Yeah,
said?
yeah.
So there's like a setup outside of.
the
the
big,
ground?
the big main stage there. Yeah, which is
Yeah,
really
cool.
cool. And then Katy Perry happened. So what did we think of her before we get
Well,
into
I
the
didn't
food?
actually get to see it because I was walking back I parked at Mum and Dad's to walk over for my appearance. So we actually missed a bit of Katy Perry, but
Yeah.
heard it was amazing. Yeah, I thought it was
Well,
good.
yeah, they did. I watched it on TV, and there was some strange graphics that they did.
I've
but-
heard this. I haven't seen this back yet.
Yeah, it was. I thought the performance was really good, but there was some like strange-ish graphics. That
What do you
they
mean by
did.
graphics?
Oh, like obviously there was like the stage and what she did for her performance, but then to enhance the experience for people watching at home,
The TV
they
product.
did like some big graphics, like stuff coming out of the ground and like big kind
right.
of
CGI.
yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah.
which it was a little bit different, but I thought she did a really good job. But she did get there was a bit of hate, wasn't there?
Was it? Oh, I haven't seen any hate.
Well, I just looked
I
on
haven't seen any hate at all. Yeah.
just looking on the comments straight afterwards because we're all people always like are very hard critiques of the pre-game performance, and there's a little bit of feedback maybe, but I thought she did an awesome job.
No, I thought it was unbelievable, especially when someone of that magnitude kind of brings everything to the table.
Tell you what, she needs credit for the way she interacts with only just seeing social media clips, but how she interacts with everybody, how respectful and polite she was, and
Yeah,
she
she took
sounded
she
like
took
a
an
legend.
interest to the game.
Exactly.
Obviously, she's big on first impressions, so
yeah.
I think everyone walks away thinking Katy Perry was a really kind and considerate person for
Yeah.
the status she has.
Yeah, she sounded lovely.
Oh, I think she's right up there with
Yeah.
Robbie and the
It'd have to be up there with the
I'd
rock. I
agree.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the better ones. And then also Cody Simpson singing the anthem. I haven't had a chance to
Yeah.
talk about him. Oh my
Nailed
god,
Yeah, you reckon? Yeah.
I think the best I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh my god, I was just stunned.
Oh, really?
You would have heard it
nailed
live as well, which would have been
Heard
better.
it
But
live,
no, I
yeah,
thought
no.
he was great.
He was excellent.
Yep.
And then after all of that, the game kicks off.
The ball was bounced.
The ball
So-
was bounced.
Also,
What? Oh, you go.
do you reckon optically watching on TV, I reckon it'd be interesting to know whether this will be the last day grand final because I think watching from a TV point of view, like the twilight with the yellow ball is going to be a better look, especially with two teams with like dark. So Swans were red, Brisbane were maroon,
Yeah.
and then the red ball at day. Like it was not the clearest thing to watch on TV. I reckon.
Okay, interesting. I
Yeah.
hadn't thought about
Except
it.
until the last quarter when the sun went down,
Yeah.
and then it was nice. So I reckon the twilight has some merits for the spectacle.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like once they go to the twilight, they'll never go back.
Oh, no,
you know what I mean?
definitely
like,
not.
It's just one of those ones that feels
Yeah.
like inevitable.
I've been clinging on to day personally, but now
Same,
I'm all in on the twilight camp. I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
you get the best of both worlds.
You could start even to start an hour later, so 3:30
Yeah.
or 3:50.
Yeah,
So obviously the colour of the ball, I feel, is the biggest difference, wouldn't it be? Like,
It's a yellow ball after 3.
yeah, correct. But obviously it's traditionally a red ball for
Mm.
grand final. So once, yeah. I
Look,
mean,
I
for
mean,
the
I
for the traditionalists out there, that'd be a little bit.
I wouldn't miss the red ball very much, would
I
you?
think no one cares too much.
Yeah, interesting. But
Sorry, that was
Anyway.
just a sidetrack.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
how are the nerves as the ball was about? Like,
No
was it
good.
just
Nah.
through the roof. Yeah.
Shocking all day.
Yeah.
Wanted to vomit all day. Didn't eat anything.
Oh,
Yeah, I was a mess. Like you've said, when you're not playing, you have no
Yeah.
control.
Yeah.
So
So you've
that.
never played it.
Imagine that all the time.
yeah, that's right. Crazy.
So
So
the Swans had a hot start.
So the first quarter was pretty even, wasn't
Yeah.
it? It was.
And everyone talked about how Swans have been a slow start, so if they were line ball at quarter time,
Yeah,
like it was going to
that
be
was
in
a
their favour.
win for
Yeah,
them.
yeah, bloody
Yeah.
oath.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then they kicked the first two. Loman then goes bang bang for Brisbane,
Yeah, that was cool.
and I believe the Lions go in 8-point leaders at quarter time,
Yep.
despite feeling like they had control of the game. And
Yeah.
were you thinking we have a grand final here? This is playing
Yeah,
out
it
as we
was
expected?
about right. I felt.
Yeah.
Like, both teams had opportunities. Scoring shots were similar, weren't they? I think.
Yeah,
Both.
Yeah.
Both teams were there or thereabouts without one team dominating yet. So yeah, I thought it was about right.
I was thinking, Brisbane have probably dominated that first quarter, but Swans are right in it, so it's probably favouring
Yeah.
the Swans now. But yeah, it was a pretty good first quarter of footy.
is that a frustrating experience as a team when you feel like you've dominated but you don't
Yeah,
have?
and then you
we
can't-
had that. I remember we played Sydney, ironically, the second last
Oh,
round of the
yeah,
year, and
that's
we,
right.
we doubled their inside 50s, and we were leading by like 6 points.
Yeah,
It was just like, this is crazy. So, like, yeah, I think there is frustration for sure when you feel like you're all over them and not getting the scoreboard reward for sure.
Mm.
Yeah, but then that's the beauty of the game. You got to take your chances, and obviously we didn't do that on that day, but it keeps, say, Brisbane
Yeah.
and Sydney, you know, in the fight. So first
Yeah.
quarter pretty even, I thought. Yeah.
And then the second quarter, some of my strongest memories of it include that 50-metre penalty against Zorko. Do you remember that
Stiff,
one?
wasn't it? Bloody
Was
hell.
that one of the stiffest things you've seen
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
grand? Just handing a goal for that? Oh, anyway,
What was the
Yeah.
reasoning? Like
he stepped over the mark,
he
but,
didn't.
and he didn't.
He did.
I think he just did it a bit aggressively for the umpire's liking, but
Jesus.
Yeah, don't know.
and it was kind of an arm wrestle until about the 10-minute mark, or about halfway through the quarter.
Yeah.
And then just a Brisbane avalanche. So what was
Yeah.
your reaction watching that unfold?
I was actually quite enjoying it because, as I said, I was going for Brisbane. So, yeah, I thought when they started piling on the goals, it was actually really good to watch. Like, it was really good footy. So, I was kind of in the camp of just keep them rolling.
Yeah.
And yeah, to their credit, they played some really strong football there, and so that's why momentum's been a strong thing all year. Once you've got it, if you capitalise, it's so hard to wind
Yeah.
it back. So Sydney, yeah, it's pretty.
It was
pretty
also
tough.
obviously Brisbane missed a few shots early in the first quarter, and you think, oh god, here they go again with their inaccuracy. But I felt like in the second and third quarter, especially, they were able to change that tide and really capitalise
Yeah.
more than maybe they have in the past, which was really, I'm sure, a mental thing for them.
Yeah.
It was really
I
important.
reckon the key
So-
one was Danaher's shot.
Well, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second quarter. Like
So-
once they kicked that, I was like, all right, they've actually put 2 or 3 in the scoreboard, and now they're rolling.
'Cause you've never been able to argue against Brisbane's like creating opportunities. It's more just like
Yeah.
when they haven't been able to take and make the most of them. But they definitely did that in the second and third quarter, which was the difference.
Yeah, because Loman kicked the first for Brisbane in the second, and then I think it was 4 straight behinds. So the pressure was mounting, as you're
Yeah,
talking about.
exactly.
And then it was Danaher who nailed his chance. And then, just goal, 6 straight after that. And the Hipwood one,
Yeah, that was a snag. Yeah.
that was decent.
ridiculous.
That's when you know everything's rolling when those
Oh,
ones
yeah.
Was that
float in.
before halftime or after halftime?
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So halftime, what's the margin? 30.
48 points, 46
46.
Was it really?
46.
Oh,
And,
God.
and then
yeah.
they said on the commentary that no one had,
That's
no
right.
team had ever come
Ever,
back from
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, okay.
Would have been the biggest ever.
Yeah.
At
What's-
halftime, how are you feeling? Were you,
Like, I knew a few people in the section, and it was just like cautious hugging.
Yeah,
it
no.
was like we're looking pretty good, but then it just had flashbacks of opening round for me,
yeah,
which of course you played a big part in because I think the margin was 47 that night.
yeah, it was, yeah.
So
There you go, yeah.
obviously there's scars, and
Yeah.
I expected Sydney to throw a punch at some point because they can score in a flurry as well,
Yeah.
but it never came.
Yeah.
What's it like? So that 10-minute period where Brisbane just effectively won the grand final. from the perspective as a forward or a back, when that's happening to you, I mean, Harry as a forward, if you're seeing your team just lose clearance after clearance, you
Yeah.
just feel utterly helpless.
Yeah, it's a tough one because obviously as a forward you are reliant on what happens kind of up the field. So when if you're losing clearance or you're not winning the territory battle, it can be tough, and it's only more trying to control the other boys, the forward boys around you, saying all right, when we do get a chance, let's make sure we lock it in or compete, and trying to stay task orientated when the ball hasn't come down for a while. So, but it's it can be quite demoralising as a whole group, and it's just goal, centre bounce, goal, centre bounce, goal. Yeah,
Yeah.
it can be tough.
And also, when you do get your opportunity and you turn one over easily, or you shoot yourself in the foot, it's oh god, the one chance we do get where we've cost ourselves. So it's hard when, as you said earlier, when momentum's all against you. It can be really hard to stop, and I think that's when you've got to control your own backyard first and foremost. It's easy to blame. The blame game can happen really easily, but to Harry's point, if you can get into your little group and try and work on some of your controllables as a backline, for example, then at least you have some control over what's happening. But it would be a pretty hollow feeling, I think, when you know the game's slipping away, especially on the bigger stage, and you can sort of see it deteriorating, minute by minute. So. I mean, obviously on Brisbane's side, it's the best thing in the world, and then for Sydney, it's obviously you can feel it slipping away, which would be pretty hard to cop.
Oh, brutal. Some big talking points. We have Oscar McInerney and then Darcy Fort coming into that side. I can't remember if we've had the chat, but where do you stand on medals? Do you think it's a 23 on the day?
Yes, I'm big on it, but I think there's nothing stopping Brisbane, for example, creating a ring or something for every player.
Exactly.
There's always going to be the element of that's just the way it is. There's going to be the 23 guys getting the medal on the day. There's always going to be a little bit of a difference, but there's nothing stopping whoever wins it to get a ring made for every player.
I don't mind the idea of, obviously it's always the 23 that played get their medal, but then the club gets another 6 additional medals or something, and then they can kind of dish out 5 or so who they think. So Oscar would get one. Darcy Gardner, who might have been an integral part culturally throughout the year that didn't play, gets one.
Yeah.
So then it's it's not just if you played 15 games or not. It might be that we're still rewarding the 23 that played, but then there's a handful that the club can decide to give to, because that'd be a cool moment being
Yeah.
I think it's obviously the tradition of walking up to the stage and getting your medal. You look at NBA, they don't do any individual awards other than the MVP.
Yeah.
So, and then they have an awards night or a ceremonial night later on in the piece to give everyone their ring or whatever. I feel like that's an option. Yeah.
Well, unless it's you have to make it 21 games plus, and then they can still be there on the stage, and at the end, for exactly the Oscar scenario. So he's just there on the game, and he gets his medal at the end as well because he's played 21 games.
Yeah.
In the
But then
season.
aren't we just confusing it? Just everyone get a medal.
I know what you mean.
It's a squad. I'm big on it.
Yeah.
I think they'd have to scrap the individual medals on the night, but you do a ceremonial night 3 months later, like an
You wouldn't
American
want to scrap
sport.
that. Everyone wearing their medals is the best part of it, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then every year there's a Oscar McInerney story where it's just it's an avoidable thing, I think. But
Yeah.
Just have a criteria of who gets a medal, and then if they have to be there on the
it's messy.
day.
Anyway,
It's
yeah.
messy. That's why I kind of
Well,
like what it currently is. It's so clean. It's just you were there.
Yeah.
And I agree with Ben. If you want to add some sort of, make something for Oscar, everyone gets a ring or, there's hard luck stories every year.
Yeah.
Like Lincoln McCarthy played in last year's grand final, would have played if he hadn't done his ACL.
Yeah.
There's hard luck everywhere.
The other fella as well, did his knee?
Coleman.
Kitty Coleman, yeah.
Yeah.
Opening round. Yeah. of course.
I think, obviously, we don't want to copy American sports fully, but I believe that we should do the medal or the ring aspect of American sport where everyone gets a medal. Yes, you lose your medal on the night, and that's obviously as a young kid, that's what you dream of. But I think, you feel for Oscar and those sort of guys because they've done everything. Oscar knows he would have been playing last week on the grand final. But I feel like they should, change it. But
Just on Oscar, is that just one of the best attitudes you've ever seen?
100%.
From a player? How do I mean, I can say for myself, I would not have been able to put up such a brave face. Can you put yourself in his shoes and just
Well,
I
it didn't
just
even seem like a
admire.
brave face. It sounded like he was just that must just be
Genuine,
the
yeah.
person he is,
It's a-
like just
yeah.
genuinely
I think-
ecstatic for his teammates, like cheering. Like he was so pumped for Darcy Fort, like getting his
Yeah.
medal and after the game and
Bloody oath.
half time and everything. Like he couldn't have carried himself in a better way. Really, he was very
Yeah.
impressive. So well done, because that would have been really tough.
I think you can go overboard and it come across as not genuine, but he
Yeah.
looked absolutely genuine. Everyone who's
Yeah,
spoken
agree.
about Oscar says he's a tremendous guy and tremendous for their culture, and you can tell that that is 100% genuine. There's guys that I'm sure would take it over and above and try and put on an act a bit or go
Yeah.
the other way and not say
Yeah.
anything, but I think he found a really nice blend of being him, his authentic self, and yeah, it would be extremely tough, but he did an incredible job, so speaks
Yeah.
to who he is as a person for sure.
For sure. And then the Norm Smith, we see Will Ashcroft, who has been out of the game for a year in his first season with an ACL, comes back, explodes in this final series, and then wins arguably the best medal you can win in footy. Do you agree with that, by the way? The Norm Smith is...
I think so. I think it's certainly up there. I mean, if you're the best on ground on grand final day, that would, yeah, it would sit very well with any athlete, I think. So, yeah, I'm probably in agreement to that.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great one to win. Obviously, the Brownlow probably rewards more of like the body of work over a year. But I think knowing that you're the best player on the ground in the most important day of the year, like that would it'd be huge to win.
Absolutely.
Especially I expect, especially in like a really close final. But
Yeah,
yeah, Will as well. It's a huge effort. The youngest player ever to win one. He was
Incredible.
dominated. He was very good to watch. I didn't really watch a heap of the Lions, but they were really, really good.
yeah.
I thought Lockie Neal was amazing as well. Probably I would have given it to Lockie and then close Ashcroft second maybe. But yeah, it's a raffle at that stage
Yeah.
because there was so many players that played well. But
there's 8 of them that could win it.
yeah,
that's right.
but yeah, they were both awesome. So congratulations to them. Yeah, very impressive for a young player. So
And then finally, watching Premiership celebrations. I think we have touched on this before, but what's your reaction in that 20 minutes? Is it just jealousy has to be part
yeah,
of it?
absolutely.
number one is jealousy for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always. That's like essentially why you do what you do and why you get out
Yeah.
of bed, and that's what our whole organisation is aiming towards. And then when you see another team getting to do that and celebrate and thoroughly deserved it, but there's a lot of, I guess, jealousy when you're watching, and yeah, you kind of wish that you guys get an opportunity to do that as well. So
I think I put myself in their shoes and think just what would that emotion be right now when you're
Yeah.
getting your medal and you're doing your lap of honour and stuff. It'd just be, to Harry's point, it's epitomises everything you do and why you do it. So, absolutely jealousy first and foremost. But, yeah, also it's like you got to acknowledge that in that season you weren't good enough, your team and personally. So, you can acknowledge it, but also it fires you up and makes you, want to get to work even harder because you want to, try and put yourself in that position again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. Just a ridiculous season in
Ah.
hindsight.
Crazy.
Not many teams make the 8 after starting 0-3.
I think it's great for football as well because traditionally it's like you got to finish top 4 to qualify and win grand finals, but obviously it doesn't happen all that often. But I think it's a really good reminder for the league that anything can happen on your any given day, and also if you're in form at the right time, then there's no reason why you can finish 7th or 8th and not make it and win it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Last week, we were speaking about standing at the footy, if you recall.
I recall.
And there was an Insta poll. I think you made it was it a twin or was it a hybrid? Was it a loser?
It's always
it was a loser.
It was a hybrid.
It wasn't my winner.
And it actually split the audience more than I was expecting. 42% were with Ben, saying, no, everyone should sit.
I think I've got to clarify. Like, obviously, if you kick a goal, no worries. I think everyone can agree that during play, that's
mid-play,
where I was
yeah.
coming from. But after a goal or whatever, absolutely stand up and go crazy. And I think what I was trying to say at the time is that when the people in the area of where the ball is. So if you're sitting level 4 and the ball was in the far pocket, it doesn't really matter. But for the people that are right there in front of it, is what my experience was. But you're right, it was a pretty interesting sort of poll.
And then Team Harry and Rolo, 58%. But then
so we won, but it's
I
is interesting, though.
I haven't read these. So these are some comments, and most of them agree with Ben, apparently. You've got completely agree. Have respect for those behind you.
Yep.
I'm with Ben on this one. I'm 5'3", and most people are taller than me. Definitely a pet peeve of mine. I want to see H crack out his folding opera glasses to see the play.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, no, a lot of short people just agreeing with Ben.
Yeah.
Drives me and my dad mad.
There you go.
You can jump up when they've kicked it.
a
Yeah,
good
so
point.
there we go.
Oscar the Grouse
Sorry.
says, watch it.
Watch it at home.
Excuse me. Yeah, watch it at home if you want to see every second perfectly, which
Yeah,
is
that's
a fair point.
Oscar
well.
Grouse.
But you're paying your money to go to the game, so you
No one's saying you have to go.
you'd want a
Yeah.
good. Oh, do
Yeah.
you want people at your game or not?
I'm saying, but Oscar's point as well, if you want to see everything absolutely perfectly, watching at home gives you a different experience to watching it live.
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah.
but you're paying your money to go and watch, so you want
Yeah,
to.
you're paying your money to be around, to hear everything,
you
to
don't
feel
want
it.
an obstructed view, do you?
Yeah,
But if you want a completely, perfectly unobstructed view, then watch it at home.
yeah. I have to
Part of the
say
footy.
though, on Saturday, I stood up heaps, but I think it was only after goals.
Yeah,
I think
I'm not saying.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to. I'd love to see footage.
We should just ISO cam
Yeah,
roll. See how many
just
times
roller
it's
cam.
up.
Just standing the whole time. And at one point, me and my mate did apologise to these two lovely Lions
Really?
supporters behind us who were short
Yeah.
and just saying, "Are we ruining this for you?"
Yeah,
And they're
yeah.
like, "No, it's so."
Yeah.
they probably.
You're
have
obviously
just
the good
been
people
nice.
who
Yeah,
actually
you were ruining it for
consider
it.
You're probably the minority that actually are considerate and would ask.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's the sort of bloke you are. But interesting.
And they say yes, and you still stand anyway.
Yeah. But yeah.
Interesting.
So we're in that pocket where. So if
Where
you
we seats,
picture,
yeah, well, I'm trying to think where you
if
were.
you picture where Hipwood kicked his goal from,
Yep.
we were directly behind it. So we just saw
On the other side of the ground?
Yeah,
Yep.
on the pocket.
Yeah,
So
go.
if we saw the post and just saw the ball laser like just beeline.
So you
through
were
the
where you were close to where Lockie Neal had the ball when the game finished.
No. So the other
Other
end.
side.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
On the broadcast, right of screen,
Got ya, yeah, I know you
and above
Yep.
the goals.
Yep,
If you know
yep,
what I mean.
Okay.
Yep.
Great spot in the shade. Lions fans going nuts.
What was it? What was
just
the
great
percentage
day.
of Lions fans versus Sydney fans at the ground?
I reckon Sydney had 60-40, but they just didn't have much to cheer about.
Yeah, yeah.
Early on, it was deafening when
Wow.
they kicked the first two. But yeah,
There you go.
crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I reckon it was similar at the parade. They were very well represented, but it was a very nice crowd.
Yeah.
compared to
Yeah.
last year in particular, where
imagine.
and that's Collingwood. They're very
Yeah.
tribal and
Yeah, that's right.
it's part of their brand. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, it was a nice grand final to go to.
good.
And yeah, I just had a ripping day.
Yeah.
Twinners.
Ben and Harry's
I'm so excited for this.
winners
Birds often think I'm a treat.
and losers.
Mandarins. I just love him. I'm mandarins at the moment.
Any fruit ones this week, Ben? Or
Nah.
I mean, yeah.
I'll kick us off anyway. So my twinner, I don't know when they started this, but this year and last year, when the final siren goes, partners and families are now allowed on the ground. Have you noticed
Yeah.
that? I think that's a great thing.
It
I
is.
don't think they've always done that, but we noticed it when we were watching it that the partners and kids and stuff were able to come on the
I
ground.
reckon Geelong started it in 2022.
Yeah, it's only been the last couple of
Yeah.
years, but I think it's a really good thing because it hasn't always been the case for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw Will had to go and ask a security member to get Levi Ashcroft
yeah.
His brother.
over the boundary, but
You met the other day and you got a photo
got a
with.
photo with. So
That's the
good
next level.
sign.
You're getting a photo with him. He doesn't even play.
A guy that's not even on the list.
Yeah.
Is that Nuffy?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that's next level.
I think grand final week all bets are off. You can be as Nuffy as you like.
Yeah.
That was my logic anyway.
Yeah, fair enough.
That was my twin. It was really cool to see the families because they're obviously a big part, and to see them right there as the final siren's gone, and you know, middle of it all, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Mine wasn't too special. Mine was just nice weekend in Adelaide.
Oh, that could be the worst of the year.
It's worse than the year.
Ah,
Yeah.
well, it's all right.
What's
And it was
not
our
right?
brother Charlie's birthday yesterday. So
That's a nice
yeah.
one.
happy
That's a good
birthday
one.
to Charlie.
Yeah.
So
birthday.
yeah, just nothing too special.
It's more milestones, is it?
What?
Your twinners is milestones. You're reeling off a
I'm
weekend
just-
away.
that's
and-
my winner of the week.
fair enough.
So, Rollo, did you? Did you say the grand final win?
Grand final win.
Yeah. No,
Calamachi, I just think had such a good
Yeah,
final series. I just want to
he
shout
actually
him
did.
out again.
he's very good to watch.
Oh, he's lethal.
Mm.
Doesn't miss.
He was our draft year, wasn't he?
Was he?
He was.
Yeah.
He was early.
Gold Coast.
He was top 10. What?
Pick before Harry, I reckon, wasn't he? 7 or 8.
Yeah, one of those ones.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
Unbelievable.
My losers, this is really weird, but you know how they put the logos on the ground on grand final day?
Yes.
they don't put. They used to put it on the 50 arc, and now they put it
Yes.
like on the logo, on center wing. I don't like it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I'm a traditionalist. Have you noticed that? Did you notice that?
I have
Yeah.
noticed it. And I can tell you the year they started, it was 2003 because it was in the era of Lions premierships that I remember so
Right.
well. And they were on the boundary. And then they also had the Brisbane Lions logo was on the left and
Yeah.
the Swans on the right, which I believe is because the benches are in that
Okay.
order. The away team is on
Right,
the
right.
left. Is that right? At the MCG?
I'm not sure.
As
how
you're
that-
looking out onto the
yeah,
ground?
potentially.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, might be right.
But why did they change it from putting it on the 50 arc to the center wing?
Well, I believe because the Telstra logo is on the 50 arc now.
Both
Fair enough.
Yeah.
things. Yeah, okay, there you go.
Maybe. I don't know.
I just noticed that on the weekend. I was like,
Weren't a
well,
fan?
Nah, not a fan. So
It's a
Not a
strange
fan of
one to be
Telstra?
angry about.
Yeah.
no, I'm not. I'm just
you're
just my
you're
loser.
livid.
no, I'm not livid. Livid was when that person was parking in the across the 2 bays of parking.
Yeah,
a few
yeah,
weeks
yeah.
ago. That was livid.
My loser is when you're flying, and you know how obviously quite a lot of times when you're in there, your ears get blocked,
Pop, yeah.
and then obviously to release that you like when they pop. But on my flight back from Adelaide the weekend, both times I reckon they didn't pop for about 5 hours afterwards.
That's a nightmare.
So I was deaf for quite a large period of time. So yeah, that wasn't great. But
What's the
Uneventful
opposite? What's
week.
the opposite to must be nice?
That must
Must
suck.
suck. Yeah, so that's mine.
It sucks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I wouldn't have a loser, would you?
Oh no.
No.
nothing's bad in the world, mate.
Just this little sniffle. I want to go away.
Are you doing a game? Is that on?
We might do a game on the socials,
Yeah.
which
All right, good idea.
just to wrap up the footy season. But pre-season now, what are we talking? Are we under a training program now, or
Yeah, back into running and weights 5 times a week, probably.
yeah,
Yep.
never really. So even when you're off, you're still chipping away.
I think we
Still on.
may have spoken about it
Yeah.
previously. But the first week or 10 days, you're pretty chilled. You're not doing much. You're
Yeah.
obviously putting the feet up. But obviously, as athletes, you always want to get back into it. And
And you also enjoy it. Don't
yeah,
you? Like
well, you want to get better and improve. And
Yeah.
I think you quickly go from enjoying the first 10 days to, all right, what's the next thing? You've moved on from the season. You've put a plan together, and then you sort of go after it. So, yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy to think that Brisbane and Sydney are only just having their sort of 10 days, 2 weeks
Yeah.
off now, and we're well and truly into our program. So,
Yeah. I mean,
Crazy.
you've got an extra 2 weeks this year compared to last year. Have you found
Yeah.
that's had any impact so far?
Oh, not really. I think it was only 14 days. So, but it does feel. I remember last year when we finished in the prelim, we were having our 2 weeks of not much when Ben and some other people were fully back into their programs, which was a
Yeah.
bit strange, knowing that you were resting and they were kind of back into it. So, yeah, but you'd rather that way because you've been playing for longer. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but yeah, it's been good.
And then Harry Perryman, as we sit here this afternoon, has officially chosen Collingwood on a 6-year deal, as per Mitch Cleary. And that is the club that he supported as a kid. And so you've been listed in this tweet, Ben, as one of the players that has chosen their club that they supported as a child in the last 12 months. So that includes Perryman, Liam Baker, Josh Battle, James Jordan, Todd Goldstein, yourself, and Jack Ginnivan, at the very least, says Mitch Cleary.
right.
Do you think that has any impact on player movement at all?
We were chatting about this off air, and for my sake, it didn't. Obviously,
I reckon that's have some percent for you.
a couple of percent, but nowhere near. For Mitch to say, "Oh, it's the main reason," and some
Yeah.
maybe, or
He's
say
not saying it's the main reason. It's a small part in decision making, which it was. You said it was a few percent, so
a couple of percent, maybe, but
we're right.
no, I don't.
It didn't tip you
No,
over.
not at all. No, I think it's more that people say, "Oh, you barracked for Essendon growing up. Does that have any say?" And you're like, "Oh, maybe a couple of percent, if that."
Yeah.
I'm very different. Maybe other
Yeah,
guys-
that's for you.
yeah. I'd know hardly anything. I'm generous as 2%, I reckon, for me. Yeah, but then other guys might really have a connection to home. And
Yeah,
for example, Liam Baker going to West Coast, he's grown up in a state that
that's
that
yeah,
makes
that's
sense.
actually moving, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can only talk for myself. But yeah, it certainly was not a big deal at all.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Cleared that up.
Nice. Yeah.
All right, question time.
Bino.
No, it's good. First from Stephen.
Steve-O.
Don't do that.
Refreshing.
You don't need to do every time you have a
Ben
sip.
and Harry and the main man roller. It's Stephen from Mildura. Just a quick question for you all. In the football off season, what is the main sport that you'll follow? Have a good one.
Steve-O, thanks, mate.
Steve-O.
Steve-O. I think we've talked about it a bit, but big NFL fan, so that's probably...
Have you watched a fair bit so
Yeah, I
far?
was watching it just before coming in here, so... My fantasy team won this week, Will, so...
Oh, legacy team.
Yeah, Ben's been horrendous. in
Hell
fantasy.
yeah,
He's been the worst player by a mile.
Not great.
How's that
He's been making
trade
some
going?
horrible trade decisions.
What was the one?
I gave up Lamb for 2 first.
Gave up the
picks.
best wide
CeeDee
receiver
Lamb.
for
Yeah,
a few
He's not the
rookies.
be- He's not the best, but
for a few rookies.
no. My idea was I need depth, right? So if let's
Yeah.
say CD scores 15 to 20 points every week, and I'm getting 2 first-round players that could potentially score 20 to 25 points per week, I'm gaining 25 points worth of depth.
But are they doing that?
They're not
Yeah,
gonna do
well,
that straight away. We don't
I've
know.
got 4 of the first 10 picks, so yes, they're going to be a lottery pick.
Oh, so you haven't even, you don't get to pick them for this
Till
season.
end of-
So this
yeah.
is you're just full rebuild.
Yeah, you shouldn't rebuild, mate. Yeah.
No, wow.
You are. You haven't won a game and you score
I'm trying to
at
win
least
games.
every week.
So this is
I've got some injuries.
This is the 2025 draft we're talking about.
Yes,
Yeah.
the upcoming draft.
Oh god, that's miles away.
Yeah.
Season just started.
You got to.
Throw the towel in.
You have to think the long-term approach, Rollo.
Yeah.
I'm short of pieces, so I need more pieces. And if
Yeah.
I trade in 1 piece to get 2 pieces in, then I'm happy to do that.
Jeez, Lamb must be relieved.
Yeah.
Getting out
He
of
was
that
celebrating.
joint.
He actually didn't perform the first couple of weeks when I did the trade.
You did this week.
He was all right this week.
Lamb.
But
we're,
then in
we're
our,
rebuilding,
Yeah.
mate. It's week 2.
What do you mean we're rebuilding? It's
in
15
our,
weeks left.
in our Essendon one, I'm going okay. I'm at 2 and 2, so
Oh, nice. But that's not a
better.
legacy one. That's a
no,
clean
it's a
slate.
one-off. Yeah.
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 But you're cricket fans as well, aren't you?
Yeah, cricket's a big... Yeah.
Yeah.
Like cricket.
Yeah.
Yep.
Xavier.
Hey, Ben and Harry, Xavier from Adelaide here. Just wondering, quick question, who has the Flash's house out of the Carlton boys and the Bombers boys, and up the Dons, let's go.
Ooh, Flashest house.
Flashiest house.
That's a new one. Good question, Xavier.
Beano's makes some good bread, so he's got a nice place.
What do you call me? Beano.
Beano.
Beano, yeah.
He calls you Beano all the time.
Yeah.
I know.
You just don't like it.
Oh, I hate it. Move your feet
then
as well.
I'll stop.
Move
Sorry,
your feet,
mate.
seriously.
Well,
you
stretch
selfish.
out left.
Why do you have to do this all the time? That's my head in.
Why don't you stretch out my legs?
Something like that. That's how Harry sits all week.
What does it matter?
Yeah. No,
It's
your
so
feet are right up in his
Yeah,
grill.
have some
Well, he
respect.
can go right.
No, I don't. No,
So who's got the Flashest house?
I don't know.
What about car?
Zach was driving a Lambo
Yeah, he's
for
got
a bit there.
Is that
Lamborghini,
true?
Doesn't he?
No, it's through Dutton, I'm pretty sure.
Right, okay.
So he
It's like
just
on a
hands it
loan.
in. Yeah,
Yeah.
every few weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny though.
Most of the boys just drive some nice Hyundais, so
At what age do players stop sharing houses with other players? Because that seems
That's
to
a good
happen up
question,
until
actually.
about 23.
yeah, it's about right, probably.
Yeah. First 3 or 4 years probably, yeah.
And then it's pretty much accepted that you'll go on your own from there.
Yeah,
or
it's not
like
a blanket rule. There's,
Partner or
there's
like,
players
yeah.
that still live together that
Yeah.
are sort of in our age, but
Yeah.
obviously circumstantial is probably
Everyone's a bit
Of course.
different.
yeah.
Yeah.
Some people, like some players, still live with their parent, like in their family or
Yeah.
themselves or whatever.
by
Yeah.
themselves or the partner. It's just all different. Yeah.
Who's got the Flashest car at Carlton?
Yours is
Ah.
is it?
Are they all Hyundais?
Pretty much everyone drives a Hyundai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would
Yeah.
be.
So which they're quite nice, the Hyundais. So
Good answer.
Yeah.
no, they are. They're lovely.
Better we said no. One place.
You know,
Especially
there's
the new Santa Fe
shocking cars.
hybrid. You can find them at Essendon Hyundai.
Yeah. 39.99. And finally from Maddie, our favourite.
Matty.
Hey, Ben and Harry and Rolo, Maddie from Epping.
Oh,
What is on the top of your Christmas list this year? On the top of my list is to have a kick with the two of you and an iPhone 16. You guys are my favourite. Go Bombers, I love being on the podcast. Merry Christmas to you all.
Oh,
how good.
Maddie. What a jet.
Makes my day.
Yeah.
So
She said a kick to kick with the two of you. Is that me and Ben? Or is
yeah,
Yeah.
or the brand new iPhone. So
yeah. You can have one.
no, that's
Christmas
very
list.
sweet. Thanks,
Have
Matty.
you thought about Christmas yet? What is it?
Not yet.
October 1.
Ben's historically the Grinch around the Christmas period, so I don't have to remind you when I bought him a present, and his first response was not "Thank you, mate." That's really thoughtful. Was I've already got one of those. That was his first.
I wouldn't
answer.
have said that.
You did.
No, I
I
didn't.
bought you a Ninja, one of those
Nutribullet.
NutriBullets.
Yeah.
And his first thing he said
wouldn't
out of
be.
his mouth was, "I've already got one of those." Not
Do your research, mate.
Be better.
Be better.
What was the occasion where did Harry bring a present? You just got shitty at him because
No, Ben bought it was like for a birthday, and usually maybe like a maximum like $100 present, whatever.
Oh,
and
that's right.
Ben tried to be a big hero and got me like a $500 crown voucher.
I never.
Ben was the hero.
I
That's
wouldn't
right.
have got you a $500.
It
It
was.
was probably $200 maybe.
It was at least it was 300 plus.
It wasn't. I guarantee I wouldn't have spent $300 on you.
Well, it must have been an old voucher or something that you just
That was
re-gifted.
funny. Harry was dirty that you got him a
Yeah,
present.
I
That was
assume. Yeah.
No, it was just
such a
like
horrible
it was just
person.
over the top.
the hero.
It's
Yeah,
just trying to
sorry.
be a hero.
Sorry, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you getting me for this year's birthday?
Well, after the last one, when you didn't even say thank you,
Mate, I would have said.
and I got everyone, and I got the family just to use up some of my Puma credit and the good people at Puma. So we got everyone like a pair of shoes, and Ben was really filthy with me, calling me, saying I was trying to be a hero.
Well, that is heroic.
How is that being a hero? Still,
How am I filthy? You're the one
why are you so angry at
How
it?
is that a hero?
How's that a hero move?
How much do you get off for Puma?
How much do I get off Puma?
Yeah, like
You get like store credit.
Store credit throughout the year.
Yeah.
It's like on a 12-month basis. So like if you still got a bit at the end of the year, then just get mum and dad a pair of shoes. Or
so it
whatever.
was free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
How's that been a hero? Thinking
Yeah, it's
about
like
us?
an anti-hero.
Yeah.
to quote
He was
Taylor
probably
Swift.
carrying around
I'm-
saying he bought all these presents. Though. That's
Well,
probably
was
what
it?
You probably did.
I
Anyway, we're
didn't.
going around in circles
Here
here.
we are.
God.
Oh, well, that's
This might be it for
I
the.
think for the footy period.
for the footy season.
Footy season, yeah. We might do a few throughout the
We'll pop
next
back in.
couple of months, and before maybe when we're back at pre-season, or I might just do a little check-in every now and then. So.
Yeah, a couple off-season check-ins.
Yeah, I'll just do.
Might need some time away from you blokes, I think,
Yeah,
potentially. But
no, that's
Yeah, I
fine.
don't mind.
No, I need to recover.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice one.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Screw.
thanks for listening to the
Thanks,
pre-season.
Craig. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Go Lions.
Remember, we're on Instagram and TikTok. Just
Yeah.
head to @Ben&Harry Podcast. Still send us a DM if you want. More than welcome. to.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Leave us a review.
All right. Let's just finish.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up.
All right.
Go Lions.
Go with.